Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. I appreciate you stopping by. Today I'm going to turn the clock back on the investigation and cover something that happened in the very early part of the investigation when the Podesta emails were leaked and PizzaGate was really just ramping up. It's something called Cheesey Bay, and I don't see images or infographics of Cheesey Bay shared very often, so I'm going to go ahead and cover it here because this is a very potent example of the connections that people have pieced together. And it's really incredible, and it makes it realistic. So I do want to recover this. I want to review it for those of you that may not be aware. There's so many aspects. It's very easy to lose track. So many different angles you can take. And this, though, is I was reviewing it the other day, and it's just gives you the goosebumps, man. So let's check it out.
So this Reddit post was made before the pizza investigation began, before the Podesta emails were leaked by WikiLeaks, and this is why it's amazing. This individual did not know what he even stumbled on, right? So he says this is a serious post, so please, no tinfoil hat comments. Oh man, how far we've come. So the summary of this thread is basically that this individual lived and worked on a semi-urban farm property for a few months. And while they were there, they discovered that there was 25 to 30 low-strength Wi-Fi networks, but their signals were demonstrating some very odd behavior, some odd peaks and valleys, some odd spectrum reads, and the signals were all emanating from underneath a concrete pad. Now, curiously, this individual that's posting this thread and asking the question about what this is all about, what could that possibly mean, you know? They go and take a thermal imaging camera to go to the concrete pad where the Wi-Fi signals are emanating from. And he measures it, and there's a particular part on that concrete pad that, by the way, is only supposed to be covering, you know, gravel and dirt. You know, there's nothing underneath it. It's not hollow. But sure enough, the signals are emanating from in there. And the area around the concrete pad is 30 degrees hotter than the surrounding concrete, aka it's almost as if there's 25 to 30 Wi-Fi routers running at the same time. Imagine, you know, technology, even your phone gets a little bit warm when you use it for a while. So this adds to the credibility that there's possibly Wi-Fi routers under that concrete pad. But why under the pad, right? What does that mean? So continuing forward here, it gets even more bizarre. Okay, he posts an image of the building structures and talks about how these buildings could be hiding vents. And this is the image here that he posts. Okay, so this seems like the building. This is nearby the area then. So that's the structure of these, you know, buildings. Okay. These buildings are about 150, 200 feet away. I built them with my boss. And right here he basically says, you know, there was liquid tanks at the bottom of them. So they destroyed this one place, and they never made a basement, but what they did do was remove a giant tank of liquid that left a very large open hole. So if you built a building around it without a basement, it technically has a basement because moving that fuel tank makes a giant gaping hole. All right? He also comments on the fact that a municipal storm drain running adjacent to that building, it was removed when they were building things and renovating things and doing all that. Instead, what it was installed with was another storm drain, except much larger. The first one a human couldn't fit through, but the second was about the size of a door. This is where things get interesting, even more interesting. This person, right, he's over in Hawaii, you know, near this building, doing all this work, picking up on weird Wi-Fi signals while he's working there. And his boss, well, this anonymous poster connected his old boss to an eBay account called CHEESEYBAY. And that eBay account, CheeseyBay, was selling faulty hard drives and faulty electronics, but for extremely high prices. But the weird thing was, it was like an obvious scam to this poster. But the buyer feedback was bizarrely enthusiastic, and there's lots of disturbing mentions. Quote, very happy kids, and quote, no fakes. Huh. Then he posts this startling sentence. I think I stumbled on a possible human trafficking ring and a child porn ring. Okay, alright, so here we go. eBay user Cheesey Bay is selling faulty electronics that has positive user feedback, talking about happy kids, no fakes. He's selling these routers, hard drives, this and that, and it's the same area in which there's 30 mysterious Wi-Fi signals hidden underneath the concrete pad, with a storm drain being built to be specifically larger than the previous smaller storm drain that could not fit a human. let's go over to this vote thread here made by the Grim Reader after the Podesta emails were released, okay? So this was shortly before this post. This Reddit post was shortly before this one. Now, in between this time and this time, the Podesta emails dropped, so now here we are. So while perusing the WikiLeaks, the Podesta emails, you know, emails have attachments, right? And that's the juicy stuff sometimes. You know, there's pictures, there's images, there's whatever file they want to attach, documents, etc. And that's how we found Comet Ping Pong in an attachment email of John Podesta. Comet Ping Pong is owned by James Alefantis, the notorious pizza restaurant that when the mainstream media goes to debunk, say, oh, Comet Ping Pong doesn't even have a basement, it's all about a pizza shop, and they make it sound absurd. But it is not absurd, and I'll show you here why. Sasha Lord is the band promoter, the event promoter of all the musicians that play at Comet Ping Pong. And her band promotion posters, the people, you know, the bands that she promotes and sets up to play at Comet Ping Pong, well, they're disgusting. They demonstrate pedophilia symbols, as mentioned in the FBI declassified documents of pedophile logos, and the fact that, you know, pedophiles communicate their predilections out in the open using symbols that other pedophiles would recognize, right? So when the Podesta emails leaked, we found a correspondence between Sasha Lord, or Anita Lord, I guess she goes by two, between Sasha Lord and this guy named, well, let's just take a look at the email ourselves, right? So let's open this up here. Here's the image. Gets a little blurry, I guess. So that's Sasha Lord right there. Okay, and here's the email. So Anita Lord, hi David, I've been given your details by Richard Windsor in the hope that you'll be able to supply us with a reference form. Please, could you complete and return to me as soon as possible? Many thanks, Anita. So two things. Talking to a guy named David, and was given David's details by Richard Windsor. Now, this is the interesting thing about Richard Windsor. Who is Richard Windsor? Well, check this out. Richard Windsor is the alias that Lisa Jackson used, okay? And Lisa Jackson is a former Clinton Foundation board member. Now, here's an article talking about this. This is provable fact, so we're still building this strong foundation on straight-up fact here. No speculation. Here's an article. Clinton Foundation board member is ex-EPA administrator who used fake email name Richard Windsor. And there she is right there, Lisa Jackson. Okay? All right, so let's continue forward here. So we have this weird pedophile logo using promoting of bands that talk about kids and weird sex stuff. So referencing Richard Windsor, which is really Lisa Jackson, a board member of the Clinton Foundation. Well, that's bizarre. Well, this Dave Flintstone guy, he apparently calls himself Poobah, and he's the owner of a very odd website, which is daveflintstone.com. And on that website, it only shows one image, and that's Mr. Potato Head. And if you look at the registration of the site, who owns it, this and that, it's registered to a guy named Dave Stone. And Dave Stone, well, he also owns another website, and it's called islanddistillers.com. The site also lists him as a proprietor. So this is islanddistillers.com here. We'll take a look at that. So here's the website, Island Distillers, and here's Dave Flintstone, proprietor. Now, do you see this right here? Okay. Look at that landscape. Does that look familiar at all? All right. You'll see where we're going here, but I showed you an image earlier. Okay. It looks similar, doesn't it? All right. Let's go back. Now, continuing in the emails, there's another one talking about sleeping partners, and it includes a photo of a Mr. Potato Head. Take a look at this. This is from David Stone. Oh my goodness, I hope you found a sleep partner by now. If not, you must be exhausted. If you're going to need another sleep partner anytime soon, please write back. I've attached a photo, though it is not quite up to date. I can send you a more recent one if you like. By the way, are you giving the back rub? And he attaches Mr. Potato Head JPEG. So David Stone, right, website with just the potato head on daveflintstone.com, right? Interesting. What is this? Now, if you continue once again through the emails, he's linked to a guy named Biff Skipman, a self-professed Grand Poobah. But what is Grand Poobah? Let's see. Does that ring a bell for anyone? The name Grand Poobah was used recurringly on the television show The Flintstones as the name of a high-ranking elected position in a secret society. So David Flintstone is using images of Mr. Potato Head on his website. And his last name is Flintstone. He refers to himself as Grand Poobah in the emails. And in the show The Flintstones, there is someone called Grand Poobah. And he's a high-ranking official of a secret society. Do you see where I'm going with this? Should be getting a little bit clearer now. Now, let's check out this Facebook. We found his Facebook of Biff Skipman, right? So let's check out Biff. What's Biff Skipman's Facebook like? So this is it. And here we go. His profile pictures. Mr. Potato Head. Where does he work? Mostly in coal mines. Then, of course, there's his About Me page is very odd, and it looks to be all coded language. Almost all of it looks to be coded language. I'm not going to read through it line by line, but it's odd. I'm a small potato-shaped man with luxurious facial hair, raised by boll weevils in the forest until age 9. I learned to speak at 12, then didn't shut up for 5 years, and on and on and on, and none of it makes sense. It looks to be some type of code language. But at the end, presently, I reside in Hawaii collecting recyclables and tending my candy wrapper garden. Now, I'd like to make this known. Candy, right? Candy is actually a slang term for children, if you're talking about child pornography in that context. Now, if candy is children, what does the wrapper equate to with a child? Does that mean a body? Well, we'll find out. Alright, so let's continue forward here. Things are getting a little weird. Now you go in, and of course, the eBay account is mentioned as well, selling faulty electronics for high prices. Now, let's actually run the address, okay? So, remember in this post here, they gave us the address of like 577 Pacala, right? That piece of metadata we need. 577 Pacala Street, Honolulu, and when you search it, it shows a result for Dave Stone and Island Distillers. Okay, so the person that posted a Reddit saying, hey guys, what's with these weird Wi-Fi signals that are emanating from underneath the concrete pad, and why is my boss so weird and this and that? Well, just goes to show that the address that this Anon posted, 577 Pacala, where is it? I can't find it. Here it is. If you look at Google Maps, you can see the old storm drain, 577 and 567 Pacala. Now, if you look, so this individual turns out to be working for this weird, creepy guy, David Flintstone. David Flintstone is this guy's boss, and he posts concerned of a human trafficking ring. He is suspecting that his boss is involved in a human trafficking ring, okay? All right? And now we stumble on the Podesta emails, and we're just perusing it to see, what juice we can find, and we find this weird shit about Dave Flintstone, and calling himself the Grand Poobah, and showing potato heads, just odd shit. And you see how these two are converging. It's fascinating. Alright, so this is the comparison I wanted to make. Let's prove this further. Do you remember? This is the image. This is the image that the OP posted on the Reddit post, okay? But if you go to Island Distillers, that website, hold on. Here we go. Look, it's the same landscape. Look at this. Look at this. Alright, hold on. Alright, this is islanddistillers.com. Dave Flintstone. Dave Flintstone, Island Distillers, his company, proprietor, right? This is the image that the person talking about his boss and how weird he is. This is the image he posted where he was working. Yo, this is the same spot. They're at the same spot. In fact, that looks like the telephone pole. This is the corner of the building. That's exactly it. This photo here was taken further to the left of this one. They're the same. Here we have a concerned citizen that, by the way, stated he had to flee. So for whatever reason, he had to flee. And my guess would be that, nobody, if you're running a human trafficking ring, nobody really wants you to be detecting their Wi-Fi signals. That's what you're doing, you're distributing on, right? You're uploading content, you're sharing content, you're downloading content. All right? So here we have confirmation that David Flintstone in the Podesta emails, which eventually became, is connected to this person that posted days, months, weeks, before the Podesta emails saying, hey, my boss is weird and I think he's a human trafficker, all right? Now, when you continue through the emails, once again, there seems to be evidence of a private meeting with David Stone and Hillary Clinton. There is a calendar for a private meeting with David Stone and Hillary Clinton, and this is the email here, right here. So, let's do it. There it is, Dave Stone. right here, okay? So from Lauren Gilotti to Hillary Clinton, and this is hey Hillary, you know, here's your schedule, this and that, this is on the agenda for today. 11:15, private meeting with Dave Stone. Is it the same Dave Stone? I mean, you know, probably not, right? I mean, maybe. Interesting coincidence, right? So let's continue here. So digging even deeper into Dave Stone, you find that he's connected to an LLC. And that LLC, it has some programs regarding human trafficking and probably human trafficking prevention. This is a correspondence directly to Hillary Clinton once again. All right. Stone Harbor LLC. So Dave Stone, that's the one he's affiliated with. And this is an email from Hillary Clinton to Marty Tory about Stone Harbor LLC. Okay, and we've got some details here. As of April 21st, Dave Stone's former business partner, James F. Blom, and I will establish Stone Harbor LLC, named for Dave, in Delaware. This will be a nice merger of Dave's and my contacts. Apart from the ongoing vetting of Simon Stringer's multi-purpose software at several levels, I am keen to help in the human trafficking effort, aka I am keen to be involved in this human trafficking effort. No prevention going on here. Alright, so do you see the vast number of connections here? This shit is real. And that's why I wanted to cover this again, because this really is a nail in the coffin. You know what I mean? A lot of people forget about Cheesey Bay, but this is a big one, guys. This is a real big one. So a closer inspection of the LLC, what is that, Stone Harbor? It shows that they only have 3 properties. This is where it gets crazy. Do you remember Comet Ping Pong, the pizza place? The owner's James Alefantis. He too had a bunch of pedophile symbols on his Instagram, images of kids in sexual situations, things like that, right? Some real terrible, creepy stuff. Well, one of those properties owned by Stone Harbor LLC that Dave Harbor and Hillary Clinton are connected to, or David Stone and Hillary Clinton are connected to, one of those locations are featured in a link, one of Comet Ping Pong's links, to a Panda Head magazine. Panda Head magazine is another offshoot of Comet Ping Pong. It's obviously just a magazine, but I don't know if it's owned by Alefantis, but they overlap highly. It's all the same people. So Comet Ping Pong's website would link directly to Panda Head magazine, you know, in their friends page or something like that. All right? Not to mention the panda symbolism that I won't get into here. But that is, once again, another term that James Alefantis would describe kids as, you know, come pandas, things like that. Also, among, you know, posting images. Check this out. The OP from this original Reddit thread that said, my boss is creepy, what are these Wi-Fi signals? The OP posted some more images of the area, okay? So check this out. These are these images right here. So this is the multi-breaker setup of the building, alright? This is the old deep hole between the breakers and hotspot, and it fills with water. So this is the concrete pad OP was talking about, alright? And this is the spot in question, this third image right here. Now look at this right here, this image. I know it's a little blurry. I think there's a better quality one. Hold on. Just look at the graphic art on that product, whatever product that is, okay? Let me see if I can zoom on this. Just bear with me because you guys gotta see this. Let's open this. Maybe it's higher quality. Alright, maybe not. I don't know. Sorry. Well, anyway, it says something vodka on it, okay? Something vodka. You see the very blue label. It's got text right here, then smaller text right there. Well, you want to go ahead and take a look a little deeper here because guess what? When you go to Dave Flintstone's websites, look what he's standing behind. That's Dave Flintstone. And that is the same logo as what is in this box on that property. The one with the weird Wi-Fi signals coming out of it. Here's the concrete slabs, here's the discarded box, and then here are the boxes. This is Dave Flintstone. This is clearly Dave Flintstone's area. This is very obviously connected. This is insane. Now, let's really get into some weird shit if it's not weird enough already for you guys, okay? You haven't lived until you found some attachments in the Podesta emails that also show Hillary Clinton holding up just a random potato head doll, as well as Barack Obama holding up a potato head doll, okay? So what is that about? Just these, you see these symbolism, you see these symbols overlap, these signs, they overlap. It's incredible. Here's another image that the OP from Reddit posted. So here's a screenshot of the Reddit thread that we were looking at before. It's a bucket. just I guess a bucket at the edge of the property line. Looks gross. It looks like it gives me the vibe of like something dissolved in there and I don't know what, you know what I mean? And now there's some other images that they connected in here which are valuable because it's from the early days. So that's Cheesey Bay, guys. Very incredible aspect of a very early piece of evidence that to me, and I think to the entire investigation, is highly, highly valuable and should be revisited today. The Hawaii connection, in my opinion, is not covered enough because remember, we have the reference in the Podesta emails about dreaming of his hot dog stand in Hawaii, which was very out of the ordinary and odd. What does he have in Hawaii? And we really couldn't find any connections, you know, with John Podesta in Hawaii, except for the fact that this dude, Dave Flintstone, that's operating some weird, shady, multi-Wi-Fi signal pedo ring thing in Hawaii that's connected to him, right? So there you have it, everybody. That is Cheesey Bay, one of the very first glimpses into currently developing as the Podesta emails were being released.